My name is Eleanor Davies. I'm from Neu Lewisham. I'm a mum and a teacher, and I'm the Joint District Secretary of Lewisham National Education Union and an executive member of the NEU. It's a bit of a long list, isn't it? Thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak this evening. The Your Party launch in July gave me and my friends hope in a world of despair. I see in Your Party an opportunity to unite the left and give a voice to the voiceless. This is an opportunity never before seen in my lifetime. I've been alive for quite a long time now. It's an opportunity to come together to create a socialist party for the people, with the people. A party rooted in our communities and led by people like us who want to organise around socialist policies that are desperately needed to make our world a better place. My passion is education. Across London, we are seeing a worsening crisis in education caused by falling pay for staff, privatisation, cuts and gentrification. This is neoliberalism at its most naked form. Since 2010, teachers and support workers in our schools have had a real terms pay cut of 20%. For teachers, this means that we are £30,000 worse off. This week, Bridget Phillipson has announced an offer of 6.5% over the next 3 years. This may sound like an increase, but with inflation at 3.8% per year on average, this 3-year pay offer is a real terms pay cut. Since 2010, cuts in school budgets. Southwark, £55.5 million. Lewisham, £42.5 million. Lambeth, £52.9 million. This means we can't afford resources, glue sticks, paper. Buildings are in disrepair. I've got a friend in Lewisham, this is a true story. She works in a school and she keeps a bucket in her classroom for when it rains and the water drips through the ceiling. She might have needed another bucket this week. The curriculum, what our children and young people are taught, is becoming increasingly datafied. Everything children do is measured. It begins at 4. Baseline test. Phonics test, age 5. You've been alive for 5 years and you've done 2 tests. Times tables test, aged 8. A new reading test, age 12. And if this isn't enough, in between of all of those tests, our children are constantly assessed. Assessed and assessed and assessed. Grades are not good enough, and the system downgrades you, young person. Our children with SEND are being failed, and in secondary schools, off-rolling is now a well-documented process of filtering out those children who are not making the grade. Mental health among young people, and I'm talking from the age of 4, is at an all-time low. According to the NHS, in 2023, around 20% of children aged 8 to 16 and 23.3% of 17 to 19-year-olds have a probable mental disorder. And it continues to increase. The Mossbourne Academy effect is everywhere in secondary schools. The line-up check, the pencil case check, the coat check, the skirt length check, the shoes check. All of this before the start of the day. Walk in silence, learn in silence. Enjoy yourself, silence. Be creative, silence. You are the sausage in their silent factory, squeezed out and ready to be fried. This is causing stress on children, stress on staff. The outcome? Children don't want to go to school, and nor do the teachers. We have a staff turnover at an all-time high. Bridget Phillipson thinks that she should threaten families with fines, and that will force our children and young people back to school. But she should be asking why our young people are so unhappy, why they don't want to go to school and see their friends. In fact, they often don't want to leave their homes. Our support staff colleagues are also feeling the pressure. They are doing the job of counsellors, nurses and teachers. They're highly skilled, they're kind, they're much needed, but they're paid a pittance. And that's how much neoliberalism values our children and the dedicated staff that support them. Meanwhile, CEOs of academies are paid obscene salaries. £515,000 for Harris's Sir Dan Moynihan.
Disgraceful.
Shame.
Absolutely shameful.
£330,000 for Brampton Manor Trust Deu Olakoshi.
Shame.
Shame. Absolute disgrace.
His particular map, by the way, has 2 schools in its portfolio.
Unbelievable.
Public money is being top sliced to reward these men who have developed a culture of fear and control that would make Gradgrind wince. Siphoning money out of the classroom and into the boardroom means less for our schools. Alongside this, there has been a decimation to our public services, which has removed a layer of support that many parents desperately need. It's a lifeline for parents in some cases. Sure Start, gone. Parent liaison, gone. Health visitors, gone. Parents, us parents, we're the ones who are blamed. We're made to feel guilty for this rotten system that we did not create. Schools are a linchpin of the community. My own school is in the middle of a beautiful estate that was built at the end of World War I, and I teach children whose great-grandparents went to that school. Henry Cooper went to my school, by the way. We're a much needed, well-respected part of the community, and this leads me to my final point. We are living in the middle of a storm of gentrification, which is affecting all of our London boroughs. It's too expensive to live in this city. It's too expensive to have a family in this city, and we're not welcome. I live in Lewisham, and our Labour Council want to knock down our shopping centre to build 1,700 expensive flats.
Shame on them. Bloody disgrace.
No social housing, and less than 10% affordable rent, and no family provision in the first phase.
Absolute disgrace.
This project, by the way, is next to an empty tower block built in an earlier phase, which is now abandoned due to poor construction. They don't have access to water. We're living in a whirlwind of school closures across London. Why? School funding is attached to children. Less children, less money. Southwark has seen 14 school closures in the last 10 years. They're not the only one. Hackney, Labour Council, to their absolute shame, closed my friend's school, in spite of the school community, staff, parents and children begging them not to. The birth rate is dropping. Young people are blamed for that, by the way. They're accused that they've chosen not to have babies, and instead they're selfishly spending their money on lattes and the gym. What utter rubbish. There is a wider discussion to be had about the birth rate trends, but the one thing that we can see is that families are being driven out because they cannot afford to raise their children here. The few children that do remain are further atomised by making them live in small flats in 23-storey tower blocks, and they have to travel many miles, not walk, for their education and to see their friends. Lose a school, you lose part of the community identity, community support and community history, and we end up with ghosts in the schoolyard. Your party is an opportunity to change all this, and we must grab it for our young people and for our babies yet to come. Let's turn the tide on that gentrification. Let's fight for social family housing.
Absolutely.
Turn the tide on school closures. Let's fight for smaller class sizes and proper funding based on need, not greed. Let's turn the tide on the destruction of our communities. Let's fight for socialism. Solidarity forever.
Thank you very much, Eleanor, and big up to MEU. I know what you're saying that because that used to be my idiom.